Hello, this is Marshall Zhukov, and here we are together again on YouTube. Had a little gun show action this weekend. Been communicating with a guy that said he'd come across some Russian rifles. And this one here is a Tula 1936-7. Date stamped in there. 9130. I haven't had it apart yet. I just got home with it a little while ago. It's got some stamps and cartouches on the stock there. It's hard to say. I don't know whether or not this has been sanded over. There's grooves in the metal that looks like it has, but I don't see any sand marks on the stock. But a lot of the parts aren't matching, so it almost looks like right here it was sanded, but I don't know. I don't detect it in the wood. The wood looks pretty good. Somebody put the and spelled Mosin wrong too, and it's upside down, but the guy that had it put that on the bottom for whatever reason. Maybe he had quite a few. I've heard from the collection it came out of, this person had a substantial amount of rifles in his collection, so maybe that's just how he kept them straight. But this is one of the two that I acquired, and the other one of the Russian carbines. M44. Chinese Type 53, made in 1954, and it's got a dot stamp right there, and then 12, as I understand, designates the month. This one's a little dirty. It's got quite a bit of cosmoline in it. I think there's a lot of cosmoline in the bolt. That doesn't sound like a very convincing click when it's dry fired. The bore in the Type 53 looks pretty good. I don't know if it's chrome lined or not, or if it was just cleaned really well. It looks like it's been sitting around for a long time. But the bore looks pretty good when I looked at it. Lance and grooves look good. It ought to make for a good shooter. The bore on this 9130, however, it does not look as good. You can see some of the rifling in the barrel. It's not showing up on the camera, but I can see a nice strong land at the muzzle there, but there's no shine down the barrel, so hopefully it wasn't shot and not cleaned for however many years. Alright, the 9130 is pretty much cleaned up. Turned out pretty good. The bore cleaned up really nice, which is really good. There is a little bit of rust in it. Probably somewhere about where the barrel band is at. I think we can probably see in here where it's at. Yeah, you can see a little bit of it in there, but other than that, it sure cleaned up pretty good. Before, all you could see was the light at the other end. So now it's on to the T53. I've got the bolt parts soaking in this Gatorade bottle. It was just soaked in cosmoline, so they've been soaking in that mineral spirits bath for a while now, a couple hours almost, intermittent shaking. So far so good. I'm happy with how it cleaned up, and I'll be looking forward to getting into the range. I don't know when, but the sooner the better. Alright, I've got this T53 taken apart. We've got some cosmoline here. Front sight's a little dirty, but that shouldn't be a problem to clean up. Still got those parts soaking in there. I'll probably have to soak some more parts too after you see this. This is the underside of the action, the receiver, and the barrel, and it's pretty much slathered up in cosmoline. There's little spots where there wasn't any or something, and it looks like it's rust, but the interrupter spring is under all that cosmoline with the interrupter itself. It doesn't look like there's a Tang date stamp on it, but it's soaked up in it. Here we are partway done here with the cosmoline cleanup on this T53. There's quite a bit of rust underneath the stock too. There were some places where the cosmoline wasn't protecting the rifle. Right here there's just a bunch of nasty rust and cosmoline mix. Cosmoline, it's just all over inside where the trigger housing is there for the trigger and the pin, and there was some down here in the receiver as well. But I'll take all those parts off here after I get this a little better cleaned up and wiped off. Chinese T53 M44 cleaning process is pretty much done. The receiver cleaned up pretty good. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time under the wire wheel with it, but the rust that was on there pretty much ate away at the bluing, so it's not rusty looking anymore. I'll get a good coat of oil on there. A little bit of rust on the bolt here and the cocking knob there. Get back to that later. Nice sharp lands and grooves in there, just shiny as can be. And I don't know, it doesn't look like a chrome. It's been chromed. I got him that time. I can't tell if it is or not. So if anybody knows whether these T53s were chromed, the bores anyways, it doesn't look characteristic of my Russian SKS that has a chrome barrel. You can see a small rim of chrome right in the crown. And this fires, we'll hear it nice snappy click to it. Oh, that's better. That's a lot better. There's so much